Hi, welcome back to the program. I'm State Representative Seth Grove, and today we're in beautiful and historic Spring Grove Borough to learn a little bit about Spring Grove Community Park and a new sensation out there called geocaching, something that the borough manager, who is with me today, Andrew Schaefer, has taken on and has done a great job of developing a nice little course to promote and attract visitors, tourists to Spring Grove to show all the businesses and all the historic landmarks in this wonderful little piece of York County heaven. Andy, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure, thanks for coming.
So this park is actually kind of the newest addition to the Spring Grove community, right?
It is, yes. We constructed it back in 2009, 2010, and we're looking to expand it here next year with some new facilities. So
that'll be great. We have a couple ballparks, playground, wonderful little picnic area, walking trail, and you're looking at doing volleyball, basketball, and a dog park, right?
We are, yes. It'll be divided for large and small dogs, as well as getting some improvements here in the parking lot that are much needed.
Yeah, it's stone right now and going to paving, and I bet a lot of the dog lovers will like that. They seem to be a very, very popular attraction.
Yes, yeah.
So that'll be great.
Yep.
Good. So let's talk about geocaching. Obviously we have some items here. Can you kind of go over the history and what is it? Because there's maybe some people out there that might not be too in touch with global positioning satellites.
Sure.
Yeah.
Basically, geocaching is kind of like a real-world high-tech treasure hunt. Mm-hmm. People that wish to go geocaching use a GPS unit to go out and locate containers called geocaches all over the world. It basically goes back to the year 2000, and the government released 24 satellites for use by anybody around the world. And the next day, a GPS enthusiast, I guess you'd call him, decided that he was going to go out and place a geocache in the woods of Oregon. And he went out and placed it, and he used a 5-gallon bucket, and he decided that he was going to post the coordinates online and let people find it. So it kind of grew from there. Within 30 days, you know, they had their own website, and the term geocache was coined. So obviously geo meaning earth and cache referring to some kind of temporary hiding spot or temporary location. It really kept growing from there. By the end of 2000, Groundspeak was formed, and they are basically the owner-operators of geocaching.com. So they're the ones that run the show. And right now, there are over 2 million geocaches worldwide, and I believe there's 5 million geocachers worldwide.
Wow. So
it's definitely grown in 13 years. It's definitely been very popular among people getting outside, looking for that adventure and things. So basically, things that you need to get started is you would need a GPS similar to the Garmin that we have here, or you would need a GPS-enabled smartphone.
Okay.
There are plenty of apps out there for the Android-based and Apple-based, BlackBerry. So some of the apps cost some money, some are free, but that would be the first thing you would need. Obviously, you would need internet access with that.
Yeah.
And you would need to go on to geocaching.com and sign up for a membership. The membership is either free, or you can get a premium, which gets you some more features that costs around $30 a year. But it's not really necessary.
Yeah, and anybody can really do this. So if you wanted to put one in your backyard, you could, but expect people to come visit you.
That's right, yeah. You have to be kind of looking at where you're going to place it and make sure that it's not going to be stolen, or you're not going to have problems with it. And like you said, if you want people in your backyard, go for it. There are some people that put them on their front porches, and they welcome people in to come and find it. So what you do is you go on and sign up for a membership. You can put in your address, you can put in a postal code, you can put in a lot of different information and find a geocache near you. Chances are, if you drive to and from work, to and from grocery store or somewhere else, you're probably going past a geocache, if very close.
Yeah.
So you can look on the map view, you can look on a list view, and it'll tell you a little bit of information about the geocaches. geocaches have a rating of a difficulty in terrain.
Okay.
So the more difficult, it's basically a 1 to 5 scale. The more difficult you get, the closer to 5. Maybe it involves a puzzle or something that you have to solve before finding it, and then a terrain rating. So if you just have to jump out of your car and grab it, it's a 1. If you have to hike maybe a mile in the woods, 2 miles in the woods, and it's some difficult terrain, it might be closer to a 5.
Okay.
And that's all taken into account by the person that hides them.
Okay, that's good. How often do people hide things? I mean, is it almost like a daily thing at this point, weekly, or?
Once you sign up for a membership on geocaching.com, you can sign up to receive email notifications. So when a geocache is published, you can set a radius around your home, around the work, to kind of get an idea of what you want to look at. And once that's published, you can go out and find it.
Okay.
Yesterday, just an example, I have one set up around my house for, I believe it's 15 miles. There were 3 published yesterday.
Wow.
But you could go a couple weeks and not see any.
Yeah. Do they normally have like something in there that you can take with and you leave something?
Yeah, if you look at the larger containers, so
Yeah.
we have a 50 caliber ammo box, we have a larger bison tube here. When you're looking at those size containers, you can take something and leave something. So it's called swag. It's in there, and most of the time it's small little items, kids' toys or small little keychains or something.
Yeah.
You take one, leave something, and that's always the goal. At minimum, a geocache must contain a log sheet for the person to sign. So you can see here we have a little tiny nano, it's called.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's only going to hold a log sheet.
Yeah.
But as you go to this size, you can get a couple more things in. You can get trackable in. These are little travel bugs.
Okay.
You can attach them to something. They have all different kind of designs. And once you do, it has a tracking code on the back, and you can move it from geocache to geocache, and you track it on geocaching.com.
Okay.
So if you have a goal, if you want it to leave York, leave Spring Grove here, and you want it to go out to Yellowstone and come back, people will move that further west, and you can track it. And they might take pictures of it at Yellowstone and post it on the website so you can see. So it's a neat addition.
Yeah.
A lot of people look for them in the larger caches. They hunt the travel bugs, and that's something they like in addition to finding the geocache.
Very cool. So let's go back to the borough, and obviously Spring Grove Borough has a geocaching, kind of highlighting some historical areas, some businesses, right?
Yes.
What was kind of the reason for doing this, and how has it been working?
Well, back in 2011, was the first year we started this. And actually, I have to give credit to my wife. We were coming home from the Allegheny Geo Trail, which is a collaboration of 10 counties on the northwest tier of the state that went together and put a geo trail on to bring people into the area, similar to what our goal was. And at that time, we were trying to think of ways to get people to Septemberfest, which is the annual carnival fair that we have in Spring Grove.
Yeah.
So she kind of said, well, what about doing a geo trail in Spring Grove? At that time, it was, I believe it was mid-June, so we had till September, so we kind of rushed through that one pretty quick. That year, the Historical Society sponsored the Geo Trail. We really tried to hit a lot of the historic buildings, not only in Spring Grove Borough, but the surrounding municipalities, and hit a lot of the buildings. And the goal there was, we want to bring people into Spring Grove. We want to show them the historic aspects. We want to show them our parks, our maybe some businesses, and just general points of interest that people might not know about. And ultimately, that is another goal of geocaching, getting people to places they might not normally go and see. So it was a great success. We had the initial coin redemption at Septemberfest, and when the geocachers found a certain number of geocaches that year, they had a stamp in each geocache, and they would stamp that in a passport. and as proof of finding the geocache. And then when they came to Septemberfest, we had a geocoin for them.
Very nice.
So that was the first year.
Very nice.
Last year, we brought on the Chamber of Commerce as a major sponsor. The Historical Society was still a sponsor.
Yeah.
The Chamber of Commerce sponsored the coin. So we switched a little bit from historic to business, commercial. We still had a couple historic ones. We still hit some parks.
Yeah.
And just general points of interest. And it really grew. We changed up the design of some of our geocaches and made them creative. And we got a lot of great feedback, a lot of people visiting the businesses in the area and purchasing things, and that was the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So this year, geocaching came up with what they called as a Geo Tour.
Okay.
So we switched from a Geo Trail to a Geo Tour. We partnered with geocaching.com to promote the Geo Tour. So they're giving us about 200,000 impressions over the year on geocaching pages, just helping in general marketing and promotion. Something that's really neat about this is the Spring Grove Area Geo Trail was the first one in Pennsylvania. And at the time it was published, it was about one of 20 in the world.
Wow.
Right now it's about one of 29 in the world, but we're still the first and only one in Pennsylvania. So, we're definitely excited about that, and we're bringing people in from out of state. Not sure that we had anybody out of country yet, but that would be a goal.
Happen at some point.
Yeah. But we're bringing people in from other states. We had one from Florida. We had a lot from New Jersey, Maryland, New York, Delaware. So, we were able to bring people in, and like I said, that was the ultimate goal: bring people into the businesses, have them possibly stay the night.
Yeah.
And get up in the morning, go find some more geocaches, and stay in the area. So we this year we have a new design for our passport, and the geocachers have to find 25 of 32 geocaches that we hid on the Geo Tour. And once they find 25 and they write down the code that's inside, they'll be eligible to receive their coin at Septemberfest.
Excellent.
And any coins that we have left over will be issued at the borough office after that.
That's terrific. How many participants did you have last year, and how many are you expecting this year?
Well, I believe last year we were right around 200 people that actually completed the Geo Trail. We're really hoping to possibly double that number with working with geocaching.com. We're really hoping to double that number, if not go further.
Yeah. And you can actually track this online, so you can see when people kind of come visit.
Yes.
They'll post, and you kind of see where they're from. So this is a great tracking mechanism as well.
It is, yeah. Obviously, when you find a geocache, you want to share your experiences online. So they'll go on, use the smartphone possibly, or wait till they get home and log in with a computer. And at that point, they can write a little bit about maybe where they're from. They can write about the geocache that they really enjoyed the find. Tomorrow will be around 4 weeks that the Geo Tour has been published. I just looked last night, I believe, and we have 307 favorite points.
Wow.
So we have 32 caches hidden, and when a geocacher really enjoys a find, they like the area, they like the type of container, they'll give it a favorite point.
Yeah.
So I'm very pleased that we're already at 307 favorite points in a matter of 4 weeks.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. Yeah. So how difficult can this get? Because I'm looking at this log. That's a log.
It is.
And there's a rock. Yes. And there's a lot of rocks and logs, especially in wooded areas around here. So how difficult is this, and how frustrating is it?
Oh, it can definitely be frustrating. I've been geocaching since December of 2006, and there have been times where I've been frustrated. So I've kind of taken that frustration and really tried to develop unique geocaches for geocachers and people coming to the area completing the Geo Tour. But like you said, this log here, if it's in the woods and it's blended in, or maybe even a wood pile.
Yeah.
You know, when it's closed up and tight, it blends in pretty well.
Yeah.
We actually used this container last year on the Geo Trail, and we used this one among other rocks.
Yeah.
Which was a pretty difficult hide.
Yeah.
We had the difficulty rating a little higher on that. As you can see, when you turn it over, the log would be inside of there. So keeps it a little waterproof. But you know, like we said, size of containers can go down. That's obviously the magnetic nano. If you really want to get cruel, you could put that on a guardrail or something where there's other bolts sticking out, and then the geocacher would have to unscrew it, and the log is inside.
Wow.
We've got, like I said, we've got very creative this year in our geocaches, and might not be the most difficult around, but we're hoping to be the most creative.
Yeah.
And like I see, containers can vary in size, shape. You really want to design them to blend in with the environment. You don't want people that maybe aren't familiar with geocaching to find the geocache.
Yeah.
Chances are, if that happens, it might be stolen.
Yeah.
Which is a risk you take. But hopefully, maybe it informs them about geocaching too.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, you had one somewhere around here.
I did.
So let's go try this.
All right.
It's my first time doing it, so I'm kind of excited to give it a try.
Sounds good.
All right.
Did you know that the main entrance to the Pennsylvania State Capitol building is home of 2 bronze doors that each weigh over 1 ton? As the primary entrance to this beautiful architectural building, the bronze doors signify the many accomplishments and sacrifices endured throughout the history of the Commonwealth. The magnificent archway overtop the doors contains a portrait of William Penn, founder of the Keystone State. The upper panels on the doors commemorate the forming of our nation, with the signing of the Declaration of Independence and Constitution. The bottom panels depict the laborious industries of the Commonwealth, including coal mining and agriculture. Now you know.
All right, here we are, getting ready to start this geocaching. Now, you said difficulty level of 1 to 5. This is my first time, so it's not an 11 or a 20 or a 90, right?
No, I made it pretty easy for you this morning, so we'll be all right.
Good. So we have your GPS device.
Yes.
Kind of go over what this device is, kind of cost, and other maybe more expensive or less costly devices, or?
Sure. Standard GPS unit, you know, there are a lot of manufacturers out there. You can range anywhere from probably low around $80 to $90. You can get right around, you know, you can get up there around $400 or $500 if you really want something color screen. You know, some of them have a built-in camera, lots of other features. So, you know, this general unit was about $250. So it's kind of midline.
Yeah.
Gives you a lot of features, gives you the ability to upload geocaches to it. So when you're going out on a trip, they're all here for you, all the information, the hints, the description, difficulty terrain rating, and they would come up on this screen. So today we hid the geocache for you, so we named it Seth Grove's Cache.
Nice.
So I guess we'll head there now.
And when you bring it up, you can have a nice, shows it, oh wow, you have a compass.
We have aerial photography on there too, so if you're in a place you're not familiar with, that's on there. And then obviously you need to follow a compass to get there. So it's telling us we need to go that way, about 171 feet.
Wow.
So I'll turn it over to you.
All right.
And we'll go from there.
Find this low difficulty geocache. A pretty neat device. Obviously you have the compass, so you can just follow that around. If there's something else out there or multiple ones, this just targets one at a time, right?
Yes, yeah. Like I said before, you can load, you know, if you're out on a trip and you want to load maybe 500 geocaches on there, you go through and select the one that's maybe closest to you, and you can look at like the description. It might tell you what you're looking for. might tell you this is where to park, this is where the trailhead is if you're hiking in the woods,
Okay.
and it might give you a little hint. So the hints can be, the hints are always crypted, so it's always coded. So if you don't want to look at it, you can scroll down the screen and not see it. But if you want to break the code,
Yeah.
you can click that, and it might say at the base of a tree, or maybe something creative like a riddle or a puzzle.
Okay.
But in this case, yeah, you're on the compass screen, so it's giving you, your footage to the geocache and the direction of heading.
Yeah, we're still about 70 odd some feet away, sending us about this way. So we were talking about how puzzles, how difficult can they be? I mean, is it kind of like a scavenger hunt where, like, maybe one of the swag ones, you got to go here, then here, then here, then here?
There are some multi-stage geocaches that you have to find the first stage, find the second stage. You can have pretty much an unlimited number of stages to finding a geocache. Some of the puzzle ones.
Speaking of it, there it is. A nice
You got
big
it.
ammo case.
There. See, I told you it wouldn't be too hard
There
for
we
you.
go. Nice 50 cal too. Beautiful. Thank you for making it easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't want to give it too hard for you
Yeah.
right off the bat.
All right. I'll tell you what. Let's head back up and continue the conversation.
Sounds great.
All right. There it is. We found our cache.
You got it.
You made it easy. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
no problem.
So let's open this bad boy up and see what we found.
Sure.
Now these aren't really rigged for anything, any major surprises, right?
No, you could if you wanted to be a little cruel.
Yeah. All right. So looks like we have all kinds of stuff. We have a car.
Yeah, and now that's going to be the trackable, like we talked about
Okay.
earlier. If you want to attach that to something, in this case, we attached it to a car. Maybe we could, it's a Mitsubishi, maybe we want to give it the destination of going to Japan.
Yeah.
Maybe hitting other points along the way. So a little bit of swag, kids toys.
Yeah, my son would love that.
Yep.
All kinds of stuff. Kids toys. Have a ball. And then I guess this is the log?
This is the log sheet, yep. And
Okay.
if it's big enough, it's nice to provide a pen
Yeah.
or pencil. Sometimes the geocache container obviously doesn't merit that, but
August, what is today?
August 8th, 9th.
Yep, 9th.
9th.
13. And then we'll go Rep Grove.
There you go.
What else?
That's it.
That's it.
You could, some geocachers write a message if you really enjoyed the find. In this case, this would be your first geocache, so you could write that.
Good stuff. First cache. Go Rockets. There we go.
All right,
Throw it right back in.
you got it.
Pretty easy. Now we were having a discussion about how this, some can make this very, very difficult with puzzles and all kinds of stuff. What's the most difficult you've been to or have done?
There's been a couple different ones that involved some math problems and the ability maybe to go on the internet and find some clues and things.
Okay.
There are some that people use foreign languages that you might have to go
Translate.
translate
Wow.
and then find. It'll give you the coordinates and maybe give you a description. So they're fun to find, the difficult ones, but sometimes it's nice to just go and grab one real
Yeah.
quick and sign the log and then prove that you found one on that day.
Yeah. Do people plan vacations around this, or in coordination, in conjunction with vacations?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we're away, we try to grab one. When you log into your geocaching.com profile, you can see the places and states that you've been in and geocache. So if you're in a new state, we try to grab at least one geocache. I was in there and grabbed one, and You know, a lot of people when they're on vacations, they go out and take a little bit of time and grab a geocache or two.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a great tourism and economic development tool.
It is.
That seems pretty popular and stuff.
It is, yes. A lot of cities, a lot of towns, historic villages and things are using it to bring people in while they're there visiting something. They're geocaching, so they're visiting the businesses as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And we have the 3-mile part of the rail trail here in Spring Grove. Obviously,
Yes.
it's not completed the whole way through, but at some point we're going to run from York all the way to Hanover.
Yes.
And you got some along there as well, too.
We do. We have a geocache, which is a multi-stage. So when you go to the first stage, it'll give you coordinates to the second stage. There are also some other people have hidden geocaches along there, and there are plenty there to find, especially on the Heritage Rail Trail. There are a lot of geocaches down there to find, too.
Sure. And this isn't just the borough, right? You have some kind of Spring Grove area at large.
We do. We stretched in to other areas, and as the years go further, we're going to expand out, make it bigger, and expand the area. Right now, we only have one that's outside the school district.
Okay.
So all the rest are basically enclosed within the Spring Grove School District boundaries.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
We have September Fest coming up. It's
Yes.
September 21st, Saturday. Very fun time. Great time to bring the family out. Obviously, we have the Geocaching Tour. Where do you get the booklets ahead of time if you want to do it?
The passport booklets are available at the borough office. They're also available at Gladfelder Memorial Library. If somebody cannot make it there during those times, we have them available on springgroveborough.com website, so the Spring Grove Borough website. And under the Geo Tour, there's a link for the passport. They can download the passport, print it out, and go to it. Gives them all the information, gives them the blocks to write the code in. So we hope that they can get into the office or get into the library so people can talk with them, but sometimes that doesn't work. So.
Yeah, I'm excited for the September Fest. It's a great time, great food.
Yeah.
Obviously, Windy Hill has their apple dumplings. If you ever have
Yes.
not had the homemade apple dumplings, great time to get some. Tons of tables, tons of stuff to do, and it's over at the Spring Grove Middle School, which I call the old high school.
It is.
So it's there. What time does it start?
I believe we're starting at 11.
11. Okay.
And it runs until dusk, and then we finish with fireworks.
Fireworks, always a great staple
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
kids and stuff. So
Yeah.
awesome. Music, good food, good times,
Yeah.
plenty of vendors. Obviously, I have a table there as well, so stop by and talk to me, yell at me, eat me, whatever. Float your boat. But
Yeah.
great time. Appreciate all you do for the community. This is such a great tool. Glad you kind of brought the 21st century into little old historic Spring Grove
Yes.
Borough and
Yep.
put it on the map. I mean, 1 out of 29 in the entire, was that United States?
World.
World.
Yeah.
World right here in Spring Grove.
You got it.
Amazing. Great
Yep.
job. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.